From a Dallas area mom has been sentenced to 99 years in prison.
Police say Roxanna Sikorski and her ex-boyfriend tried to kill her family the night of October 17th.
In this video, we take a look into 15 most dangerous women reacting to life sentences. Roxanna Sikorski. At 16 years old, Roxanna Sikorski deeply loved her boyfriend. Roxanna conspired to kill her entire family, and her younger brother suffered the most from her attack. She left him fighting for his life while she fled with her boyfriend. The family called the police, who apprehended Roxanna from their home. Despite her young age, Roxanna was tried as an adult and received a 20-year sentence during the court hearing. Roxanna broke down in tears after hearing her sentence. Vonda Smith. In 2016, the body of Jessie was found near Vonda's home. Vonda had been the last person seen with Jessie, as she had lent her car. The car had evidence related to the incident. When the sentence was announced for the crime committed against Jessie and the second-degree murder of her unborn child, Vonda showed visible remorse. However, it is unclear whether her display of remorse was genuine. The murder occurred after a disagreement, resulting in a fracture on the top of Jessie's skull. Vonda received a life sentence and will spend the rest of her life in prison. Sandra Lane. Sandra Lane, a frail 75-year-old grandmother, turned out to be a heartless criminal. Some might even refer to her as a monster. She meticulously planned and executed her grandson in her home. When taken into custody, Sandra showed no remorse for her actions. She was found guilty of the lesser offense of second-degree murder and possession of a firearm. Sandra has been sentenced to up to 40 years in prison, where she will likely face the consequences of her actions when she meets her maker. Kamya Gaetz. Gaetz, 32 years old, committed a heinous act by taking her boyfriend's life in a ruthless manner. The nature of her actions was so horrifying that it would send shivers down her spine. The judge had strong words to express about her during the trial due to the gruesome nature of the crime. However, what stood out the most was Kamya's lack of remorse and her cold demeanor throughout the courtroom proceedings. Andrea Cook. At 14, Andrea Cook collaborated with her boyfriend to devise a robbery plan. They used a dating app to lure Emmanuel Purcell into their scheme. Tragically, during the execution of the plan, Emmanuel lost his life. Consequently, the young teenager and her boyfriend were sentenced to 20 years in prison for their involvement in the incident. A clear reaction to the sentence can be seen in Keandra's demeanor, expressing her emotions about the outcome of her wrongdoings. Eileen Warnos. Eileen Warnos was responsible for the deaths of 6 men she robbed of their belongings. During her trial, she displayed a lack of remorse and snapped, screaming her indifference toward the lives she had taken. She even expressed readiness to die if deemed necessary. Despite her claims of self-defense, Eileen acknowledged her regret for the situation ending up in court. She maintained her composure, stating that she was okay with the outcome, believing that God and the angels would be there with her. She acknowledged the pain caused by her actions and apologized for it. Eileen received 6 penalty sentences for her crimes. During the trial, she made threats against the jury members. Jodi Arias. Travis Alexander was an unfortunate man who believed he had found the love of his life in Jodi Arias. However, instead of experiencing happiness and joy, his life came to a tragic and untimely end at the hands of Jodi. The most shocking and disturbing sight was seeing Jodi singing "Oh Holy Night" while her mugshots were being taken. Despite going through 2 mistrials, Jodi was eventually sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Erica Mae Butts. Erica Mae Butts and Shanita Latrice Cunningham were sentenced for their involvement in the death of 3-year-old Serenity Richardson, who was visiting their home in South Carolina. The child's battered body was evidence of the extreme cruelty she endured. The drama surrounding their sentencing and life imprisonment reflected their self-centered existence leading up to that point. Elizabeth Escalona. Elizabeth Escalona was a mother who was potty training her 2-year-old daughter, Jocelyn Cedillo, and turned it into a horrifying nightmare. Jocelyn's body's bruised and battered state revealed the extent of the torture and extreme brutality, ultimately resulting in a fatal brain injury. Elizabeth strongly defended her actions in the courtroom instead of accepting responsibility for her part in the tragedy. However, she was rightly sentenced to 99 years in prison. Diana Lovejoy. Diana Lovejoy, a fitness instructor, was enjoying a great life. However, things turned dark when her husband, Greg Melville, divorced her and gained custody of their 3-year-old son. Per the court's instructions, Diana had to pay Greg $120,000 to settle his claim on their house. Instead, she decided to take matters into her own hands. Desperate to regain custody of her son, Diana conspired with her 50-year-old boyfriend, a former Marine. They planned to lure her ex-husband to a secluded area to harm him. Diana was sentenced to 26 years in prison, while Weldon received a 50-year sentence. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.